Hello again, everybody. So what I've got today is a wide variety of different gloves. I watched a video that I think it was Pinball Preparedness did a few days ago, and he said something that you actually need are gloves, which is 100% true. You're going to need quite a few pair though, because these things, if you're using them consistently, are going to wear out really quickly. When I worked for the phone company, this is what we wore daily right here. I would go through a pair of these about every 6 months. A lot of times they would wear out right in this area through here. You can see here where these are wearing down, a bit closer, wearing out right there. So they have a, I don't know what you would call it. I want to say gauntlet, but I'm not gonna say it's that for sure. So this is a soft glove. Very effective in doing woodworking, working with a chainsaw or a leaf blower, or if you're raking leaves, using a hoe, things like that. Really good protecting your hands. These here are another pair. Very similar. These actually hold up longer. We didn't use these working at the phone company. This is a thick leather, but it's a coarse leather. And these are two pair that I keep in my truck. So I always get a pair that's a little bit bigger than your hand, because as you work, your hands are going to start swelling a little bit. You don't want to have a pair that's super tight. It's going to restrict your movement. These here I use pretty much weekly. These are gloves that are made for grilling. You handle your meat with it. You can handle things that are kind of hot. So you're pulling big pieces of pork off and playing with them, or you're shredding pork. These work very well. They're what they call gauntlet gloves, because they come all the way up to about right here, and they've got a nice liner here that helps protect your hands from the heat. These here are just a different version of the other one. This is a soft leather on the outside and softer on the inside. So this particular type, doing manual labor, seems to last a lot longer. This again is just a different version of the kind that we used at AT&T. I use these working at Waste Management a lot. So what I've seen with these is they like to tear through here, constantly going on and off. I've yet to wear out a set on the palms or the hands, because usually by the time, after about a month of using these, dealing with all that garbage, that wetness, it just soaks the glove to the point where they're just not really functional anymore. Your hands come out stinking. This type of glove right here I picked up at Harbor Freight. These are welder's gloves. Now, I use this when I spread out my charcoal, or dealing with anything else that might be hot, or something that I really need some protection from. You're not going to have much dexterity with this type of glove, but if you really just need to pick something up and that's it, it's big, it's bulky, you don't have to have any fine motor skills to deal with it, these will work great, especially if it's hot. These here are my shooting gloves. Now this pair is actually kind of new. I haven't really worn them that much. My other pair finally wore out over the summer, and or back in early spring when I was shooting, they finally wore out, which is when I bought these. And then we all know I hadn't been shooting because motorcycle accident. This is a different version of the same type of glove. Good garden glove, real thick, soft leather. So these here are called chemical gloves. Now, when I first got my CDL, I delivered home heating oil, and this is what we wore. It helps protect your hands against the the oils and fuels that you would get your hands in. And this here is another type of glove that we wore a lot when I worked at the phone company. I only have the one glove. I wasn't going to go dig trying to find the other one. Probably I fell behind my workbench. But this is called a Kevlar glove, or a cut resistant glove. So I mean, it's not going to protect you if you stab yourself, but against small abrasions and things, this worked very, very well. Dealing with sheet metal, dealing with cabling and wiring, this worked good. We could also, there's enough dexterity with this particular glove that even in the cold we could splice cable wearing it. It also kept the icky pick off our fingers. So that's yet another glove. Now gloves that I didn't bring out are my old motorcycle gloves, which are really, really thick. They're very similar to this. It's an extremely soft leather. The leather's like this, except it's black. It says Harley Davidson. It's got a lot of insulation in it, and that's what I would wear when I was out riding my motorcycle. Kept my hands very warm. A good leather glove is not going to be quite as water resistant. Not a soft one unless you keep it oiled up. And to be honest with you, I never had any issues. I didn't ride much in the rain, so they have waterproof gloves for riding, and I just don't know if these were waterproof or not. I'm not going to lie to you. I do still have them, and that's something that I change up throughout the year. I'll have several different pairs of gloves for wintertime versus summertime in my truck. I change out all my summer gear for cold weather gear. That's another video though. Another type of glove that I did not bring out is electrician's gloves, and basically what you get with that is you get a thick rubber glove very similar to this. And when I say thick, I mean it's about that thick right there. I don't know exactly what type of material it's made out of, what type of leather, but the inside's red, the outside's black, and you have to test those things every time you're done using, every time before you use them, because it doesn't take much if you're dealing with high voltage to electrocute yourself. They come in a set of 3. You have an inner, real fine cotton glove that fits kind of like an isotoner. It comes up to about right here. You have a outer glove that's very similar to this, and then you have the thick rubber that protects you from the electricity. So that's one I didn't bring out. Another one I didn't go digging through stuff for is, hang on, let's play in pass. Another one that I didn't go digging to find was ones for my chem suits. Now they come with a liner as well. It's a real thin liner, and then you've got the rubber glove, and it's about like this as well. Not quite as long, but it's very similar to this, except it's made of rubber to protect you against well, NBC. It came with the NBC suit. So I've got several different types of those. I just didn't want to go digging through my cedar chest to find them. Now something, if you're out during the wintertime, especially up north, not as much of a problem down south. We don't need anything like this, but maybe a month, maybe 2 months out of the year. But hand warmers, and these things actually do go bad. So remember that. These actually I've had for some time. They expired in February of this year. So hand warmers are something really good to have. And reason you want to wear gloves is, I don't know if you can see, but in working with the wood, tearing apart my wheelchair ramp, it dried my hands out really badly, and I've got cracks all over. If I'd been wearing these gloves like a smart person would have, then I wouldn't have had that problem. But I've got tons of these gloves. You just can't have enough of them, because as you wear them, you're going to wear them out, and you're going to need to replace them. And when there's none to replace with, this is what you got to deal with. So you can repair these things. I'm assuming, I never have tried, but you may be able to. A seamstress or somebody that knows something about sewing may be able to put another piece of leather like this right here. You could take and put another piece of leather across the palm if the palm wore out, or maybe stitch a piece of leather through here. I'm not a seamstress, I don't know, it might be able to be done. You could repair your gloves using your older gloves. But in a shtf situation, you're going to want to protect your hands. Well, you really want to protect them, period, but you definitely want to protect them if things go south, and go south quick, slow, doesn't really matter. When medical services are a long ways away or non-existent, these, trust me, you need these. You're better off just slowing everything down. Everything you do, take twice as long to do. I'm watching a guy right now. He's out camping and he's haphazardly swinging his axe with one hand, holding his piece of wood and then swinging that axe down and moving his hand. And I'm like, good Lord, dude, how many miles are you away from anything? He says he's in Upper Ontario, so you're really out in the middle of nowhere. Slow down. Just remember that. Slow down. You might not get as much done, but it beats crap out of losing a hand or a finger or bleeding out. So wear the proper protection when you're dealing with stuff with your hands. Alright guys, I hope you got something out of this video. And remember, this is very important to remember. Destroyed in 30 minutes or less, or the next one's on us. United States Marine Corps. Have a good one, guys.